But is gaming a guilty secret for you as a woman? And oddly, I'm going to come to Matt first on that. Matt, do you know, other than us, and in your previous experience, do you know women gamers? And do you think that's because they don't exist or because they don't tell you that they exist?
The only gamer that I know, and she's not really a gamer, is my mum so far, because I've been trying to. I managed to get her into doing weights in the gym, and she's loving that. So then I thought, right, I'll see if she likes gaming. And starting off with the Witness, and a game called Vampire, and a game called the Talos. I think it's the Talos Principle.
Talos Principle, yeah.
Yeah, stunning games. And she's been enjoying them. But other than that, I don't think I've ever encountered. I've never known that I've encountered a female gamer in the wilds. And I know that I'm pretty sure it's about 50-50 at this stage, the amount of like the gender split. But yeah, I can only assume that the ones I have encountered hid the fact that they were female, which is an entirely different topic to itself as to why that happens.
I mean, I don't think gaming's ever been a guilty secret for me. I think most people know I game because I just spend far too much time in front of a PC or a console. And even when I was younger, I would always, if there was a console at anyone's house, I was always so excited because all I had was a Dreamcast, and before that, all I had was an Amstrad. So definitely, I would always constantly. But there has definitely been a huge influence in my life that my gaming was dictated by my boyfriends. That I was the point in my life where I was playing a lot of PlayStation was because that's what my boyfriend was playing. There was a point in my life where I got into various games is because that's what they were playing at the time. Interestingly, my current relationship, which very long standing, has actually had the reverse thing, which is my partner had never played a PC game until he started going out with me. That's his desk over there. We now sit and play back-to-back PC gaming. So it's not, but the idea of not revealing yourself, absolutely. I don't go out shouting that I'm a girl. I don't go into voice chat. Everyone wanted to play Among Us all the time recently, and honestly, the idea Among Us amongst friends, fine, but Among Us with people I don't know what it's going to be like. Jem, do you have anything thoughts on are you a stealth gamer?
Yeah, well, in some ways yes, and in some ways no. I have compartmentalized my life, I think, at points in my life, and therefore parts of it have known about the gaming and parts of it haven't. It is fair to say that once I got involved in the mud, and then I got involved with the person that ran the mud, so then my gaming became my personal life, and everyone in the house, the shared house that we lived in, all gamed, and one of the housemates was also female, and she worked for Electronic Arts, so I did a stint there, kept that a secret. And I think so I met quite a lot of women in the games industry in the early days of the games industry, really, and so I think I had quite a lot of other women that I knew who gamed, but certainly not outside. When I went to get a job in the real world, and I wouldn't talk to my workmates about gaming, or if I did, they'd sort of look at me a bit strangely. I mean, MUDs are pretty hardcore, and so at that point we're online multi-user games. So I think the thing is that even my gaming has been a little bit niche, so that's made it harder for me to sort of be out about it. But I've also never really been ashamed of it. I think it's more a case of like, oh, by the way, and just sort of gauge how people react, and then most of the time people just aren't interested. I think that's what it is. I've always been a bit like, I don't know, sometimes I think that people might not take me seriously, or sometimes I think that people might I think a lot of people think gaming is just it's a silly kids thing, and I think there's a lot of games that we've talked about already today that are just not suitable for children anyway, so not a silly kids thing. And I think it has a really positive release and it's a good way to spend your time. And so I think, it's just about people's preconceptions, actually, I think that I worry about more.
Alex, for you, gaming is a guilty secret?
I don't think it ever has been. No, I'm quite proud of the fact that I game, and I think as a particularly nerdy person, I'll just talk to anyone about the things that I love. So it often came up in conversation, and even my gaming handle, like, it has the title Miss in it. So it's like I'm quite proud of the fact that I'm a gamer, and it's never been something I've wanted to hide, and I think it's just generally a great thing to be. So no, it's never been a guilty pleasure, I would say.
Well, I like the message from Bex as well, saying it's definitely not a guilty secret for her. Went to all those a bit, but also more recently the retro console things. Yes, I was thinking about that. How there is, like, I mean, I don't know about the rest of the country, and also I haven't been out of the house in a year, but definitely in Leeds, in the centre of Leeds over the last few years, you could not go into a pub without there being an N64 there for you, or one of those little mini consoles that had the sort of setup, and it was all, oh, okay. Mario Kart has definitely become a pub thing for my generation, but again, I see a little bit of that, what I've talked about before, about how I used to go to house parties and do the I don't know what I'm doing thing with the controller, and you do see girls clearly who are capable and intelligent, and I say girls, women who are clearly capable and intelligent, going, oh, I couldn't possibly manage to control this N64. And again, it's those sort of, there are still some gender expectations around gaming, that even if you are a woman who games, then you play Candy Crush, which there's nothing wrong with, by the way. Some of us are quite addicted to match 3 games and keep it that way. But there is definitely, and again, these are more topics for us to explore. I'm babbling, so I'm going to escape to my 4th question of the night. Dun, dun, dun.